While the cloaked person was busily working in the midst of the night, a sudden noise rang out without a notice. He pulled out a dagger and swung it on that direction. An unknown man then appeared as he met that dagger. Who is he, and why did he suddenly appear out from the forest? Weird way to start this up, but I just finished writing, or rather rewriting the script for this segment of the story, and it has become a more intense scene than what it originally was. It's not as if the original was wholesome or soft, but this just took it on a whole another direction. The change was brought out by, well, one, to make the segment longer, cause the original was just 30 lines at most, but two, and the bigger reason, is to give proper treatment to the segment's object, the dagger. That said, when the story got going, I cannot stop writing, so I continued to flesh it out, and I think it got longer than what I intended it to be. I hope you enjoyed the story. I did enjoy creating it, especially seeing where it came from and what the rewrite added to it. Like the writing itself, the first draft of the music was a little subtle, re-emphasizing that the first version of the story did not contain an action sequence like the final version does. That version of the music did have a slight hint of tension, but that's that. Just a hint. But this one goes for more. Again, I'm new to producing music. I tried to build the action up in a super subtle way, just enough that it doesn't feel out of place when the scene finally arrives. But the idea was to have a sharp contrast before the attack. I still need to improve on my top line melody, since I feel that's my weakest link, and the top line melody is supposed to be the most important part of a song. I started recording the story narration with my throat a little sore and my nose a little runny. I was not feeling optimistic about it. Lots of minutes in on the session, and yup, I was not having a great performance. It's not just my voice is cracking. I cannot hold on to what emotions I should portray or how to perform it. This one is hard. Tons of minutes later, and oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, that pseudo clash scene was intense and fun. That was fun! Now, for the object of the story section, the dagger. The dagger took more time to make, more than I planned to, nor what I wanted to. I spent too much time on stuffs that others could say unnecessary. It's one of my pitfalls, just spending too much time tweaking little details that others would not even notice. And I'm on the edge about it. Should I change it or keep it that way? On one hand, it's so much of a time drain, but on the other, it feels so satisfying to add those little details and polish it up as much as I could. How about you guys? How do you deal with that feeling of having to polish your work first before releasing it on the wild? Anyhow, here are some of the things I learned through this object. They are mainly notes for myself, but might also be helpful to others. 1. If it's a simple straight to the point hole, sure, go ahead if you want to manually make it. But if the thing that goes through that hole has a complicated shape, do not. Let me re-emphasize, never do it manually. Just use a Boolean modifier and be satisfied with it. 2. The Boolean modifier is one of the sweethearts of making hard surface models. That's basically one of the first things you would learn when making them, and you would use it over and over. What other would skip to say and learn is how to use it in a way that it would give you clean topology. At edges, wherever you want to smooth out, know and learn how to fix shader problems, etc., etc. But never, again, never fix anything more than necessary. Zoom out to a reasonable distance, and if you don't see the shader problem, then it's fine already. Leave it. Trying to fix every single shading problem is a time sink, and it's not worth it. Just look the other way around, do something else more productive, and never look back. 3. If you are tracing over a pattern or an outline, well, I guess this is true even if you are not, but if you would not be doing any retopology work, pre-plan your topology even before you place your first quad. Plan which directions you would take them. Consider parts that could be made separated. Use as much parent topology as much as you could. Using parent topologies are not only faster and smarter, it would make the final topology look more cohesive, as if they are all part of a single mesh. That said, there are parts that are supposed to look separated. In those cases, make sure they do look separated, even zoomed out. Add crevices and spaces where you can, but be careful not to make them look as if they would break apart. 4. I have said it before, would emphasize it again, mainly for myself. Stop doing more than what is necessary. Other people would not even notice the difference, and it would just cost you time, more resources, and accumulate stress. For me, there's this balance between extra details and details that could be omitted. Please comment down what you think about it. 5. Sculpting is so sweet. I want to do more. I really want to delve more on it. Unfortunately, my PC can't really handle sculpting that well without giving itself a seizure. One day, maybe one day, I could sculpt more than just those basic lines. Now, the texturing part became a little tricky. I am used to texturing and making materials for regular, normal, real world objects. By that, I mean, if I would texture a dagger in the past, then I would make the blade silver colored because that is the color of steel and metal in general as what we see in the real life. But for this one, I decided to use colors for it, adding a little more style on it as opposed to just using silver still on it. This is from the influence of seeing other artists use artistic stylist colors and art style. If anything, the whole idea of this dagger, from the outline to its concept and design, was started and made as a practice to start learning how to make stylized pieces. I don't know if I pulled it off. I'm sure I still have many aspects to improve, but at the least, I'm starting to learn it little by little. Summing it all up, this one honestly took more time than it should. That said, I learned a lot from it, and I guess that's a wrap for this story segment and this dagger. I'm really looking forward to the next object model. It's harder than the dagger or the lantern. Even from the previous works I have done, I'm guessing that this one would be more complicated. It would undoubtedly take more time to make, so I'd have to say sorry for that in advance. I'm really excited for it though, so please look forward to it. Now, for the confession time, it does take a lot of time and resources to make the videos I make. No set schedule could be guaranteed, but I am taking this channel really seriously, and I would not lie, I really need help supporting this chapter of my life. So please like, comment, subscribe, sharing them would help a lot, and please check out my Patreon for a deeper dive. And with that, thank you. See you on the next story video.